Hey guys, welcome back to Obsessive Car Desires, and as always I hope all is good. So today I have with me the Hyundai Santro. So this version has been detained, so this is or discontinued you can say, but I'm going to review this car today. So those who have not subscribed, please quickly subscribe and press the bell icon to get the latest updates. Also follow our Instagram page to never ever miss any update, and stay tuned till the last of this video. Basically, Santro was introduced in the year 1998, and this is the facelift version which was launched in the early 2000s. So now starting with the front view, this is the Hyundai logo, and behind the logo there is a grille which is of honeycomb structure, and there are two strips which are flowing towards the headlamps. Below the grille there is another grille which is divided into two parts, which looks like the nose of this car. And now coming towards the headlamps, these are halogen headlamps which are round in shape. Similar changes were being provided in the previous version. The only changes here are the highlighted side lamp, that is the indicator, and the parking light. So the parking light looks very nice at night, and now there are no fog lamps provided here. So basically this car comes with fog lamps, but the owner I think has removed the fog lamps here. And if you check the design of this car, there are two sections where the bonnet is getting connected with the bumper. The design of the bonnet is taking a nosedive, that means it is falling rapidly, so the angle of inclination is less to keep up the aerodynamics. And here I have opened the hood. The hood looks a little bit heavy, and now this is the Hyundai 4-cylinder engine which is 1000cc and is producing 56 PS power and 82 Newton meter of torque. It is having a huge engine bay because this car is having a big engine bay. The reason was, in those times considerable amount of space was given to the engine bay, but nowadays the engine bay has been squeezed, giving more space to the passengers. Now moving ahead with the tires, the tire size looks a little bit undersized. So the tire size here is 145/80 R13, you can see it here. So the tires are little bit undersized according to the body height, and steel rims were provided with a Hyundai cap at the center. There is a side indicator and a mirror as well which moves 180 degrees, and also they are not body colored, but actually because the car is black it has been camouflaged, but they are not body colored. So now this is the side profile. So just look at the height of this car. The height here provided is 1615 mm. Hence it became one of the prominent reasons to buy this car, because its competitors of the similar segment were having very low height, and the people who wanted a considerable height, especially the people with a good height, were having an option in those days. So the ground clearance was good, which was 160 mm. Now let's check out the rear profile. The width of the car is 1495 mm, which is quite a good width when compared it in the segment, and I think so 3 people can easily sit in. So we will check when we go inside. Let's check the details. So there is a spoiler with a center stop lamp integrated into it, which is of LED. There is a wiper, and there is a washer provided there. There is a Hyundai logo, Hyundai badging on the left hand side, of which H, Y, A and A letters are found missing. Santro badging on the right hand side, of which R and O are missing, and below it the zip drive badging. Looking at the age of the car, you can expect the letters to fall, so that is obvious. These are the tail lamps. So the first big circle which is red in color is the brake light, and below it the other circle is divided into two parts, which is a side indicator, and the other part is taken by the reverse parking light. So now let's open the boot. This is a manual lock, and from here you can open the boot. The boot door is also quite big. This is the inside view of the boot. So there is a parcel tray with 2 speakers, and below it there is a 235 liters boot space. So the boot space of this car was the biggest in its segment, so a good amount of storage can be utilized. And below this carpet there is a Stepney with a steel wheel, so you can check the tire size is same. I am actually impressed with the boot size and the load carrying capacity of this car, because I have personally seen the owner of this car taking a lot of luggage while he is traveling, and also there is no much change in the performance of this car. This is how the rear door looks from inside. The door looks very simple, and you have a quarter glass which is fixed and this is a moving window, so you can get it down. This is a handle to close the door, another handle to open, and this window is a manual window, so you have to manually lower it and raise it. This is a view of the rear seat, so the door opens very wide, so you can easily get in and get out without any difficulty. So let's check out what all is there at the rear. So here I have stepped in, and this is the leg room. You can see it is not much, but it can be manageable here. The front seat has been adjusted according to a normal person's height. And now let's check out the headroom. Do you really want to check it? This is the headroom provided for this Santro. You can see it from outside itself that the height of the car is so much that headroom won't really matter for a 6 feet tall person, and you will really feel very comfortable while moving in this car. As this car is a front wheel drive, the center tunnel is also very flat, almost flat, so a third person can easily sit in very comfortably. Although it does not have a handrest here, but the seats are very comfortable. The headrest also very big enough, so you can comfortably sleep as well on those headrests. This is the other side door and the handle as well. And now this is the dashboard look from the rear seat, and it looks very simple. It is an old school type, so there are not many features here, but let's check it out from the front. Here we have the front door, and the front door looks very simple and it opens wide as well. A good amount of visibility has been provided for this door, and there you can see a mirror as well. And here there are two buttons which are used to operate the front two windows. All other setup is standard. And here is the view of the front seat. So there is a lever given to recline the seats as per your position, and there are two knobs, one to operate the petrol lid and the other to operate the boot. Also there is a lever to operate the hood of this car, that is the bonnet. I'm going to start the vehicle now and just hear the sound of the ignition, as this car is 19 years old now. Oh wow, it started in the first stroke itself. Condition is not that bad, guys. What do you think? Please let me know in the comment section. Almost everything here is stock and is in good working condition. So this is the horn, and I must say that hats off to the owner of the car for properly maintaining it. So these are the controls for wipers. The wipers are also decent and are still working in good synchronization. These are the controls for operating the indicators, headlights and the tail light as well. Let's check the instrument cluster. So the instrument cluster is very simple. It is all analog, and the center piece is showing the speed, and there is a odometer which is old school, and there are two gauges on the left and right side which is showing the temperature of the engine and the fuel meter. So on the right side there is a speaker and some space to keep your stuff. The speaker here placed is very unique, and on the left hand side of the steering there is again a gap here for storage. And this is the center panel. There are two AC vents, and in the center there is a hazard light switch. Below that there are three dummy switches, which is a kind of design here. As this model was launched in the early 2000s, there were no infotainment systems or inbuilt stereo systems, so detachable panels like these were used. Now this is the AC system. So this is a knob to control the fan speed, and there are modes and a switch to turn on and off the AC. There is a 12-volt socket and ashtray as well. So the center panel is not connected with the gear section, which we generally observe in the modern cars. And there are two cup holders here. And can anyone tell me what is this section? Please let me know in the comment section. I will surely reply. This is a 5-speed manual gearbox, and below it there is again a space again for storage. And I have found these alphabets, the missing alphabets of the Hyundai and the Santro, which should be at the back. So basically this is what happens when your car is 19 years old. There is a standard handbrake, and this is the cabin light, a manual dimming ORVM. So I'm impressed here because this car is equipped with some tiny features which are still being used today. So really hats off to Hyundai. And these are the sun visors. This is a co-passenger seat and the door as well. So the seats are also very comfortable, The lumbar support is adequate, and this is a glow box. So very little glow box here, but appropriate for such a car. So guys, that's all from my side. Let's meet again with another car. Those who want their car featured in my video, please let me know in the comment section, or you can DM me on my Instagram, or you can write to us. Mail ID is given in the description. Till then, stay tuned, stay safe, and as always, drive safe. Tada!